love Miguel. Like, I love Miguel.
At a certain point.
And Frank Ocean. Miguel and Frank Ocean.
I love Frank Ocean too.
Like, those are some good, sexy jams.
Honestly, I feel bad because I didn't even watch Miguel. I just heard him because we were in the VIP area before and eating like Emerald Lagasse's food. Like, he catered the VIP area. Yeah. King cake with gold in it. Like, you know how they have like gold leaf? It was all, yeah, it was like the craziest thing. I was like, I can't believe, I kept saying like, I'm here, man. And he was like, yeah, you do. And then.
So when you went to New Orleans, is it New Orleans or New Orleans?
New Orleans, yeah.
New Orleans,
yeah.
New Orleans.
Yeah, don't say New Orleans. You can say whatever you want, but it's.
You can say whatever you want, but don't say this.
To someone from New Orleans?
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Why do people say New Orleans?
Because that's more like a northern accent on it. New Orleans, right? But it's like New Orleans. Like people just kind of like when they say, "How you doing?" Yeah, like, "How's it going? How you doing?" Like,
okay.
There's not a lot of enunciation there. But
like,
also, having said that, when
instead of Newfoundland, we don't say that.
Exactly. It's exactly kind of the same thing. But also, like, you'll hear songs where people from New Orleans are saying,
God, you want
like,
us back?
do you know what it means to miss New Orleans? That's because it rhymes, you know, they're trying to rhyme it.
Together, like, yeah, rap, like the Saint Lunatics and...
Yeah, but don't go like Nolans either, because they don't like that either.
Nolans. Nolans. They don't like that either. I love it. Okay, so when you went to New Orleans...
That was perfect.
You went there, and you went there
for a whole semester.
You went there alone. You weren't in a relationship.
Well, like I said, me and Scott had been like living together and pretty much like partners. We had 2 dogs. We raised the dogs together.
No.
We went grocery shopping. Like we did. We lived pretty much the same way we live now,
but just not intimate.
Yeah.
But
and like we had
other people.
Yeah. We both like saw other people.
And but you like left, like you didn't have to leave a relationship to go to New Orleans.
It was just the same. Like it sucked. And
no, were you seeing a guy or a girl?
No.
So you just easy to go.
Kind of.
But
yeah.
It was easy to go leave them.
Well, like I said, I wouldn't let myself get attached to people because I wanted to be like this. Yeah. I'm just going to pick up and leave type of person. And I did know that I was going to spend a semester there. But there was this girl who's like really awesome who I was kind of talking to and stuff before then. But she also was like going into law school.
Wow.
So
wow.
Gorgeous, just gorgeous, gorgeous. And
you don't talk to her anymore?
Again, sucker move for Sarah. I was like infatuated with this person. And she was going into law school, and she was like, you guys think I'm like free and I do whatever. She was like, I'm never gonna, no one's gonna own me, which I loved, you know, like, but she was very like I didn't get jealous, but she would like kind of pick up with me when she wanted, and then she'd be like, well, I'm busy, I'm focusing on this, or I'm hanging out with this person right now, and I just kind of hang around and be like, okay, cool, like call me whenever. And then, so but I didn't mind though, like it was fine. It didn't hurt me because she was always honest and open about it, and like that's the way she is and whatever. And that's like, again, that's why I liked her, right? Like that was part of who she was and why.
Scott with you too.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And so when I moved down there, we talked a little bit, and she sent me a letter with like earrings in it, and it like meant so much to me. So I sent her like this really sappy letter back, and then I never heard from her again. And I texted her, and I never heard back. So then when I came,
how many times did you text her?
Not that many, like 3 or 4.
Okay, and you never called her?
And no.
Okay.
I might have called her once actually, but I remember feeling like that was too much for her, that letter that I sent, right? But she like gave me her address and everything, and like so she was like, you know, asking for a letter, and she knows the type of person I am, right? And so whatever. Then when I came back to exactly, she's like who she is, and she wanted to stay distant as well. And she, like it said,
she probably got that letter back and was just like, I don't want to break this girl's heart. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So, but it wasn't like I was like being like, be with me forever, like, and I need to be the only one.
Be the type of person.
Thank you.
And maybe she was just like, whoa, like this is too much or whatever. And also she was starting law school, like I said, and which is a huge thing. And she was like really just gonna focus on that.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe she was just like, well, this is too much for me right now.
Well, and you're in New Orleans.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Exactly. So yeah, exactly.
And that was the last time we.
And she liked to travel, and like she had it like.
Do you have her on Facebook or anything?
I don't have Facebook.
Me either. When did you get rid of it?
Before, like 3 years before New Orleans. But then in New Orleans, I had to start a Facebook for class, a Facebook and a Twitter and a blog because it was part of like the assignment.
Cool.
But I didn't add like I just added the people in my class or
Do you still have that?
No, because we don't have anything now, right?
I thought you could just make it private.
I don't have anything now. Yeah.
Oh, you don't have anything?
No, because I don't use I never use it. I never go on.
No, I haven't had it
But like,
since
if she
2011.
wanted to have like messaged me or found me, she could have.
Yeah,
I
of
have
course,
people on
bro.
my Instagram that like
The
you know what I
game's
mean?
still
We
on,
have
man.
common friends. And when I came back to Calgary, one time I was in Blue Star Dine, like where I worked,
About two,
and I
babe.
went there. Like I wasn't even working there anymore, but I went there for dinner. Actually, no. Okay, I went
Yeah,
out with my
man.
buddy who I was telling you about, Rob, my like sensei, my Jedi master, and we went out for drinks, and then he was dropping me
The
off at Blue
original.
Star 'cause Susie was there, and I usually end my nights with Susie. And so he's like, I'm like, come in for a drink. Like he used to work there, but he had quit, so it was kind of awkward for him. But I was like, come in, it'll be fine. We're drunk, and like I'll be with you. So we walk in, and she's sitting at a table, and I didn't even notice, but she has this laugh, like this like adorable, like cackling, like infectious, slightly obnoxious, but I like absolutely adored it laugh. And I heard this laugh, and I look over, and it's her, and this girl is like smoking gorgeous, like smoking. And I never in my life felt like,
Is she blonde?
like light brunette,
Okay.
and she just like voluptuous and just like the best smile you've ever seen. And this laugh was just like, oh my God. So I hear this laugh and I turn, and I've never had this like sinking feeling that I assume like lots of people get with most of their exes. I never had a relationship like that with any of my exes, because like mostly like amen. And like it was just like buddies after, still like, hey, how you doing, you know? But this, I was like, oh my God, this is what people feel like. Like this is that feeling. And I looked at Rob and I was like, I gotta Batman out of here, man. I went. I saw her getting up, and I was like, oh my God, she's leaving. I was like the biggest loser ever. I'm like, oh my God, she's leaving. And I was standing by the door. So I was like, fuck. And I went and booked it into the kitchen, because like I worked there. So, and then I'm like hiding in the kitchen, and everybody's like, Sarah, what are you doing? And I was like, I can't even talk right now. Like I'm hyperventilating.
Oh my God.
And then, oh no, that's not even what I did. I went out, I'm like, oh my God, she's leaving. So I went out the exit and wrapped around and like was hiding in the bushes in winter, waiting for her to leave. And then I'm like, okay, she's gone. I gave it like 5 minutes, and I'm like, she's gotta be gone now. So I sneak in the back door, go through the kitchen, walk through the kitchen, and as I'm walking in, she's walking back in. She was just going for a smoke. So I duck out into the bathroom and wait for her to sit back at her table, and then I go out to Rod and I'm like, I'm sorry, man, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And I just Batmaned out of there. I called Scott, I was like, you gotta pick me up, man. And I'm like running home. I can't believe I did that. But I just couldn't see her. I couldn't talk to her. This girl that I kind of like saw a little bit, like before I went to New Orleans, Willow was just asking me like if I left a relationship, and it was never a relationship because she was even more like
Where'd you meet her?
free at school, women's studies and stuff. And she was just so passionate in class, and I had like a crush on her the second I saw her. And in class, she'd be like, so she'd always challenge the teachers, and she'd like challenge the teachers and be like, what about this and what about that? And I just loved that spunkiness in her. But she was very much like, I'm gonna do what I wanna. So they're not listening.
It's
But, like,
not how.
Like, did you approach her?
The first time we were at a party.
What?
She had like netball or something.
Oh, okay.
And I